Hey everybody, I'm here with a quick video on Diddy. You know, Diddy is out there in New York, Brooklyn, Metropolitan Detention Center, and they said that thing is hell on earth. Okay. So he spent not only Thanksgiving behind bars, but he has also spent Christmas behind bars and will be spending New Year's behind bars and a few other holidays at the very least, because his trial does not begin until May 2025. But now it's being reported that over the Christmas holiday, matter of fact, on Christmas, he had a meltdown. He had a breakdown. Okay. They're saying that he had an epic breakdown because he couldn't believe that he was really, truly still behind bars. Now, many people tell you when you're trying to break a habit that it takes 30 days to get used to your new way. But many people will also tell you that when it comes to jail, you kind of never really get used to it. You just take it one day at a time, literally. Now, like I said, the reports are saying he had an epic breakdown, but his sources and his friends are saying, nah, Diddy is doing well. But it's also being said that Diddy is pretty much refusing to eat over there in the Metropolitan Detention Center. Why? Because he's paranoid that somebody might try to poison him. Out of all the things that you can think can happen in jail, not somebody sneaking up behind you and trying to stab you like they did one of the YSL members. I think he got nicked in the head before he got out of jail. So you're not thinking that somebody's going to try to stab you, choke you, unalive you in a brutal way. He's thinking that somehow, some way, somebody is going to try to poison him through the food. Now, people hate when I do this. When my brain get to working and I start getting to thinking, why would you why would you think the food? But sometimes people think certain things because they have done certain things, and they think because they have done certain things in certain ways that people would do those things to them. I'm just saying, catch it if you catch it. If you don't, it's okay. Let's go ahead and get into this story. So let me hold up. Let me pull this up here for myself. So Diddy's huge prison meltdown revealed as sex trafficker rapper remains in hellhole jail. Okay. I really think now when he went to turn himself in New York, right? But they punked him. They went and picked him up and didn't allow him to kind of turn himself in. So when he went to turn himself in, his whole family was with him. All the kids, with the exception of Baby Love. So I really think he was thought he was going to go turn himself in, get his mug shot, get his fingerprints, and then the whole clan go head back to Miami. But you know what? Who fault that is? That's his lawyer's fault, Mark. And so then when he got locked up for the night, they was like, okay, Mark probably told him, don't worry, by tomorrow, end of the week at best, we'll figure this out, and you'll be, home. And now here he is, 3 denials of bail later. Thanksgiving and Christmas, and he's still locked up. So Sean Diddy Combs had a festive meltdown in a notorious hellhole prison because he couldn't believe he was still behind bars there, it was claimed. A panicked Diddy reportedly pleaded with guards to be taken to a prison hospital for observation, claiming he thought he was having a breakdown on Thursday. Now, they wrong for not taking him, but they didn't. The guards at Brooklyn Metropolitan Detention Center refused his request, according to the source close to the rapper, who was locked up in September. Now, see, here's the thing. Jail is your punishment. I don't think that somebody should be treated inhumane because they are in jail. And I don't think that, you should be refused to be taken to a hospital or seen by medical professionals. But I guess they have seen this before many times over and knew maybe perhaps he was just having a panic attack and was like, no, go somewhere and calm down. Okay. Excuse me. With his high-powered legal team, Diddy's thought he'd be out on bail by now, said the insider. Spending the holidays behind bars was a nightmare for him. He eventually managed to calm himself down with a meditation technique he's been using while he's been behind bars. It took him a few hours of deep breathing and focusing to get out of the bad space he was in, but he finally managed it. A source close to Diddy, however, denied the claims, telling the DailyMail.com the rapper is staying strong in jail, despite missing his family a great deal at Christmas, which is a time he always spends with his children. Diddy alleged meltdown comes as a judge ruled that the Alabama woman who says she was R by Jay-Z and Diddy Combs when she was 13 can proceed anonymously for now in her lawsuit against the rap moguls. These depictions are so horrible, but they're doing the best they can, right? As the DailyMail.com previously reported, Diddy faced a bleak Christmas in a Brooklyn jail. The disgraced music mogul allegedly continues to refuse meals while in lockup as he waits for his criminal trial on federal sex trafficking charges. I mean, he has got to be eating something. If that's the case, I would just randomly switch meals with random people every day. Be like, yo, can you take my meal and I take yours? If he that scared. In a recent court appearance, Combs was described in reports as being astonishingly thinner and grayer after spending the last 3 months behind bars. While cameras were not allowed in the federal court, law and crime reporter Elizabeth Milnew described Combs looked starkly different from how he appeared in a video playing hacky sack in Central Park just days before he was arrested on September the 16th. He also faces the indignity of being upstaged at the detention center by another prisoner now more famous than him and more popular among the general public. And that's that guy, which I don't. This case is horrendous to me too. With Diddy, the thing we do know for sure is, right, we saw the video of him beating Cassie. Everything else we have to go with alleged right now because we have not seen the physical evidence or any video of it. And although we don't know the face of this guy who killed the healthcare CEO in New York, he's being accused of being the one that unalived this guy, and people are praising him, and it's just baffling to me. So he's 26 and is being held at the same facility after being charged with the powwowing unaliving of the United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in New York in December. He last week pleaded not guilty to the charge. Diddy remains jailed in New York, awaiting a criminal trial on federal sex trafficking charges. He also favors a wave of sexual assault lawsuits, many of which were filed by the plaintiff's lawyer, Tony Bubsby, a Texas attorney who says his firm represents over 150 people, both men and women, who allege SA and exploitation by Combs. The lawsuits allege many individuals were abused at parties in New York, California, and Florida after receiving drug-laced drinks. Diddy's lawyers have dismissed Busby lawsuits as shameless publicity stunts designed to extract payments from celebrities who fear having lies spread about them. Just as lies has been spread about Mr. Combs, Jay-Z has said in a statement that Busby is trying to blackmail him to settle the Alabama woman's allegations. In her lawsuit, the woman says she was R at 13, identifies herself as Jane Doe. She said she was living in Rochester in 2000 when she made her way to New York City and befriended a limousine driver who drove her to an after party for the MTV Music Awards, where she says she was eventually attacked by Jay-Z and Combs. And then the thing is, she was living in Rochester. She got all the way to the MTV Awards. And with this particular young lady, she claims that a friend drove her there, but now that friend is no longer alive. Alex Spiro, lawyer for Jay-Z, asked the judge to dismiss the entertainer from the woman's lawsuit, and he requested a hearing on the case for the day after he made his request in writing on December the 18th. And so Jay-Z and Alex Spiro, he pissed that judge off. Her name is Annalisa Torres. And because from this little sentence right here, first of all, how are you going to request a dismissal and request a hearing, and you submit the paperwork on the 18th, and you talk about, I want this hearing on the 19th, and in a couple of days it was Christmas? Who do you think you are? They pissed the judge off, and she denied everything that they requested. Citing an interview the plaintiff did on NBC TV, Spiro wrote that the broadcast revealed glaring inconsistencies and outright impossibilities in the plaintiff's story, which I do agree with. But like I said, the problem with that judge or any judge taking Jay-Z off the case, they indirectly would have to throw out the woman's whole case, because how can you say she lied and she has inconsistencies, but those inconsistencies only are applicable to Jay-Z? It wouldn't work. The woman has admitted inconsistencies in her story. Torres wrote in her order Thursday that Spiral, who has been on the case less than 3 weeks, has submitted a litany of letters and motions attempting to impunge the character of the plaintiff's lawyer, many of them expounding on the purported urgency of this case. Referring to Jay-Z by his legal name, the judge added Carter's lawyer's relentless filing of combative motions containing inflammatory language, attacks, and ad human attacks is inappropriate, a waste of judicial resources, and a tactic unlikely to benefit his client. The court will not fast track the judicial process merely because counsel demands it. It's like, how dare you trying to talk to a lawyer a judge like that? Are you crazy? Are you insane? So we'll go back to, let me see which, okay, that's our picture. We got a Diddy. We'll use that picture of Diddy and his lawyer. Okay, so let's do this. And this one is this lawyer, the black guy is Alex. I want to say, what is his name? Is that Alex Rico? Tony Rico. I'm sorry, Tony Rico. And that is Mark, his other attorney. And I will say this: do I believe that Diddy's possibly refusing Mills? Yeah, because I'm sure he's paranoid. I'm sure he's paranoid. Well, I mean, what are you going to do? You got months to be in it. You're going to starve yourself to death? So he's refusing Mills. Do I believe he had a breakdown around the holidays? Absolutely, because I think people who are not even in jail, who are out in the free world, so to speak, and don't get to see their family, is anxiety around the holidays, period. I'll wrap that up in a bow like that. It's anxiety for a lot of people around the holidays, period. So I can picture him having a breakdown, and I could picture him really sitting back like, wow, this is crazy with all my money and power I have, and I couldn't get out on bail, and I offered these people $50 million and then some, gave up all the passports, and they still won't let me out of jail. Yeah, I'm sure he did have a breakdown, and I think reality really hit when the holidays was here, and he could not only not spend the holidays with his children and his family, but also his daughters turned 18 while he was behind bars. Listen, guys, chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. Everybody, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think Diddy actually did have this breakdown behind bars around Christmas time? Or do you think this is just a fabricated story? Do you think he's truly not eating because he's paranoid, thinking somebody is going to try to poison him? Or do you think that's fabricated too? We will say, although cameras cannot be in the courtroom, they're saying he's appearing much thinner and much grayer. The gray is probably understandable because I think before he even went to jail, he was probably dyeing his hair black, right? And so now you don't have access to the dye, or you can't be broader because it's on the low end of your priorities. So the gray is coming out, but the thinness is a whole nother story. Listen, guys, thanks for watching. Hit the like button. Chat with me. I'll chat back, and I'll see you on the next video.